wargs today until we're done or until I'm interrupted by a family member because, like I said, this is unscheduled and I did not specify that I needed privacy. I've been on a real kick these days painting miniatures. I love the orcs from Warhammer 40,000. So I've got some of the boys on order. And while I wait for them to arrive here at Beneath Your Feet headquarters, I have been just catching up on some paints that or some miniatures that I never painted years ago. So specifically, my Mystics, Descent, and now Journeys in Middle-earth. I painted the heroes for Journeys in Middle-earth, but I didn't really paint the enemies, the bad guys. So that's what I've been doing. Painting some trolls, orcs, goblins, brigands. Now we're down to the wargs, and I thought this is vaguely LOTRO related, so why not share this new little obsession of mine with all of you. So this is also a good chance for me to practice streaming from my phone, which is what I'm doing. Should I try it this way? Let's try it this way. See if it looks any better. Nope, it's not letting me. All right, we get a shot of my Christmas tree there. Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving to all those who celebrate. So as you can see, we got our warg boys here. Some wolves of Isengard, or you know, whatever. I think in the first Journeys in Middle-earth story, they're from Gundabad. So I hadn't really spent a lot of time thinking about how I want to paint these guys, what I want them to look like. So I'm also still fussing with the camera. As you can see, we've got this random dude in the background. It's going to create some ambiance. But I think I'm going to start with Pallid Bone. I'm using Army Painter Speed Paints. And Pallid Bone is going to give us a nice off-white color. A white warg is always cool. I think there's quite a few of those in LOTRO. I didn't want to do just plain white. I don't know. We'll see. And I'm using the Army Painter Speed Paint, so I gave it a quick matte prime with the white. And sort of our order of operations for today is going to be to get our speed paints on there, layer them up, and then hit them with a wash to create some depth. Maybe some highlights, I don't know. In the past, I just used acrylics, and those were great. My house is full of them because my wife's an artist and my kids like picking stuff, so I just had them everywhere. And they worked well, but the speed paints have a very cool consistency in that you don't have to, their consistency, their composition is such that you might be able to see it on camera here. It naturally pools up in the recesses to create some contrast and some shadows in the layering process. So you don't really have to do dry brush highlights or washes for shade, unless you want to. There's another method I've been playing with that you may have heard of if you're at all interested in painting miniatures or Warhammer or anything like that, called the slap chop method. And that's basically, it's kind of like this, except I would have to have had a black priming layer first and then go over it with some white and some gray dry brushing, or I've done it zenithal, which is when you use the spray primer, and that's worked pretty well. All right, let's give this boy a look here. I think I'm gonna like that color. I'm just a little concerned about the detail because you see his ribs are kind of showing here. And so I wonder if we should, like, is he kind of mottled? Was he in a fight? Was either run to the pack and now he's bitter and searching for revenge, and he's kind of mangy. I'm gonna paint his hurty bits down there. I don't know. And I'm finding this go around, besides sorting out some of my mental health issues, which is allowing me to focus on the painting process and just chill and enjoy it, I'm finding I'm also enjoying the sort of storytelling aspect of it. Because it's like as you paint, you're starting to discover what these characters and creatures have been up to. And it's super cool. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking about. I didn't do any, like I said, I didn't really plot this out at all. I'm just kind of going for it. And so I wonder what we should do besides just the fur. So obviously, let's see. I wonder if we can leave, okay, I'm gonna need a lot more paint in this. I wonder if we could leave his features alone, so we'll give him like pink interior of his ears, and I shouldn't hit his eyes up. I guess we'll do like black or red eyes, a black nose, and then maybe like a flesh tone inside of his ears and his mouth. I don't know. We're just gonna kind of go for it. He's looking a little gross. Looks like he needs a bath. That's another cool thing about just getting back into this habit and practicing is you start to recognize, get a feel for what stuff's gonna look like after it dries. Because this looks kind of weird now, but having used this paint before and having spent a little time with these models, I know it's gonna look a lot better. I gotta clean out his booty hole though. Can I say booty hole in here? I didn't mark this as not safe for work. Clean out his, oh, I guess I better get off that train of thought. I'm still kind of stumped on the details though. Maybe we'll just use some white along the ridge of his back here. That could be cool. I guess we're just doing layers now. I don't have to have it all figured out. Definitely gonna put some blood in his mouth because I think he ate a hobbit earlier today. Poor hobbit. This guy's the texture of his fur is really interesting because they've just done mostly humanoids so far, like hobbits and orcs and things like that. And so having a creature that's pretty much just all fur, all mane, is different because it's not quite as smooth. It's a lot more surface area as well. Let's put this guy down. I better get some over. Yeah, he's looking okay. Get some more paint here, adjust my light. Okay. I lucked out the other day because I got a decent little array of colors here with the speed paint pack I bought, but I didn't have any shade oil. I didn't have any base texture paint. And then I found this at the old Barnes & Noble because they have, it's called Imperium magazine, something like that. And you get a little goodie with each issue. And it just happened to be such that the issue they had on the stand that I ate the other day had those two things in them. It was pretty dang cool. Getting real nervous about his snoot over here. So I think because we're using the speed paint, I can go back over the eyes and like the inside of his mouth and stuff later. If I get a little paint on there, it's not a big deal. Hope you're having a great Friday afternoon. I had the week off, so that's pretty awesome. Now I'm just recuperating after a Thanksgiving feast yesterday. Mirk Stapa. I hope I said your name right, and I hope you're doing well. Thanks for jumping in the chat here. We're just doing something a little different, painting some wargs from Journeys in Middle-earth. Almost got the first layer down. I'm trying to think of what we should add, what kind of details we should add next. I guess the teeth are kind of the obvious option. My buddy, who's an excellent painter, said just trust the process. So that's what I'm trying to do. And other artistic endeavors like writing and music, I found that to be true. You just go with it and it kind of reveals itself, quote unquote, as you go. And so I think we're gonna have the same experience with our friend the Warg here. Is he our friend? I don't know if he's our friend. I'm starting to feel like Bob Ross over here. Bob Roscoe, the Hobbit painter. Yeah, so I'm thinking around his lips here, the edge of his mouth is gonna need to be some red. His snout, his nose is gonna be black. Eyes gotta be red, obviously. Gotta give him some, gotta make him look fierce. And then maybe blue. We could do a crazy color. We could do like some blue down his back. I don't know. Let's see what you guys think. So if you have any color thoughts, make sure you chime in the chat. I guess we could do some dark, maybe some gray, even some metallic colors on his claws. That'd be cool. Like a robo-warg. Mirk Stapa. Love a good Beowulf reference. Always, you know, Tolkien and Beowulf and mythology. Mythology in general really just kind of go hand in hand. All right, what do we got here? That's like, that might be his layers done, but he just looks like a brown mush ball at the moment. So we got to hit him with some details soon. There's a spot. The undercarriage always requires some attention, doesn't it? And the sort of mantra for miniature painting is 2 thin coats. I don't know if we're going to need that with the gentleman here because I don't want it to be too dark. Like the bone color is meant to be just kind of an off-white, brownish white color. And that's really what I'm going for. So I'm afraid if I do another layer, it's going to look too dark. We'll see. Okay, I think that's the layer done. Let's see. There's the fur done. Okay, cool. All right, I've got my heart set on the blue thing on the back. So we'll do that. So while we wait for that to dry, we're gonna hit the mouth. So I've been using the Army Painter Monster brush here. It's just like a decent little layer brush that came with my contrast paints. We're gonna try the detail brush, the crazy detail brush for his, oh no, his paw. Oh no, I missed his paws, his poor little paws. Let's see. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to get to basing today, so I guess it's okay if I mess it up. Get some brown on the base, that's fine. Cool. Nice. Okay, now we're going to do the face. We're going to try blood red for the mouth. feeling a bit conflicted here because I wonder if the Crusader skin would look good on the inside of the mouth. So let's start with a little Crusader skin on the tongue, and then we'll move on to the blood red on the eyes. The Crusader skin is just kind of a dark flesh tone. I used it on some of the brigands for this game, and I just wonder if like a little bit of that and then a little red over it might give us a nice sort of flesh tone, pinkish for his mouth. So now we gotta be extra careful. That might be too brown. But if we hit it with the red, it might be just right, but I don't know. This is the stuff I'm not real good at. The little edges, the really fine details. I'm still working on that. While I'm trying to give you guys an angle to look at that's not just the back of my hand. That's not bad. I don't know how well you can see that, but that color just might work out. The back of his mouth. Choke on this. Wasn't there a scene in the Lord of the Rings movies where Aragorn shoves a sword down a Warg's throat? I think that's what's happening here. I'm trying real hard not to get the teeth too messed up. I can go back over them with white to get his chompas, but I'd rather not because I really like the matte white primer we did. Okay, I think that's about all as much as I'm willing to risk for his gob there. I'm gonna pull this on his nose, on his little snoot as well. And then we'll hit that with some gray to make it look a little more natural. I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I really don't. So yeah, you can see that Crusader flesh goes on kind of red. It's gonna dry more of a dark flesh tone. Like they just spent the day at the beach. Might be some good highlights. Let's try that. Let's put a little highlight here and here. Okay, I'm fine with that for now. Let's hit that red, that blood red. One reason I went with the messy army painter stuff is because they have the droppers with the shaker balls built in, which is a nice kind of quality of life thing. Just not have to worry about that stuff and not feel like you're wasting paint. The sigil stuff is nice too. I don't know. Okay. I'm trying to keep them tidy, but that's kind of impossible. Loading up our brush. All right, here we go. Let's start with the eyes. Here we go. Oh boy, this is dangerous. See, I already missed. That's okay. That's kind of cool, actually. It's a happy little accident. Looks like you got a scar in battle. Let's see if we can be a little bit more cautious with this one. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. I think. We'll see. All right, now we're going to hit his mouth with that red. Make him look good and bloody. Huh, I think my crazy little plan worked. Crusader flesh with the blood red. What do you guys think? It looks pretty good, right? Not quite even though. What are you gonna do? Pretty cool. And the teeth are even mostly white. Hit him with the nose with the gray, and then what we'll do is we'll start his pack mates while I figure out how, I don't know, we're just chilling out having fun. that's my other hope too. Just, I don't know how often I'm going to do this. This might be the only time, but it would be cool, you know, if some of you catch me doing this. It'll inspire you to try this out because it's really chill and nice. Let's try a teeny bit of gray on the nose there just to darken it up. I think we got a bubble. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, that's all right. And what's cool, again, I don't know how well you can see this, but with the contrast paint, you can see that it caught in the edge of his nose. So it gave it a nice little outline without me having to run the risk of ruining it with a fine detail brush. Okay, I think he's mostly dry. I'm still really keen on doing that blue accent on his back. I want to define his little scar a bit more because I think that looks really cool. So I'm just going to dab a bit off, so that's a teeny bit on the brush. Here we go, look at that. That's cool. I'm quite happy with that. That's cool. I like that a lot. And honestly, like, this is not for show. This is just to slap a little color on there. So when I play this game, which I don't play it that often, but when I do, it just looks nice. So I could be quite happy just saying job done there, but we're gonna keep it rolling. I missed a few spots with the fur layer, the bone colors. We're gonna hit those up. Well, they do make for some kind of cool highlights if we just left them alone. So we're just gonna hit a couple spots here. Okay, I think we might leave it like that for now. I'll do the blue layer. We'll go ahead and get his pack mates done. At least get their layers done. So they are battle ready. I need some more gray. I will say, if you are the least bit interested in doing miniature painting, this handle right here is this and good brushes are the most, genuinely the most bang for your buck. Okay, so this dude, we're gonna name him Archie. Archie and his buddy are gonna be gray, and the pack leader is gonna be that off-white bone color. And one of the reasons I'm doing that, besides the fact that it's just kind of cool, is because in Journeys in Middle-earth, if you've never played it, it will sometimes differentiate. It'll use the same model for different units. So like, you know, whatever, an elite orc, as opposed to a run-of-the-mill orc. And they have these little battle standards that you put on there to so you can visually differentiate between the two. And so I think just having variations in their color schemes will make that a thing. Okay, so this is kind of what I missed with the buddy. You see it's like the fur kind of ends here, or the mane ends, and then there's just this regular fur, almost like a lion. And I kind of caught that before, but I also kind of didn't. So I think with these guys, what we'll do is try to stay away from the belly. We'll just get the mane, this gray-black color. And then the underside will do that pale, that brownish bone color. I think that could be cool. And I think that'll also bring some cohesion when we do the mane of the pack leader blue. That will be cool. I've kind of already mucked it up, but I think it'll be okay. That is one of a few disadvantages of the speed paints. They're not easy to go over. We're gonna make it work. So like this spot here that I kind of already did, it's gonna look a little jacked up, but we could probably touch it up when it's time to get some shading done. Every time I pivot, I the Warg leaves the frame. It's hard to keep up with. Let's see. I think like I want his face to be that black gray, that dark gray. What is the name of this color? Bone gray? Grave Lord Gray. I was talking about colors with my kid yesterday in the car. And it's like, you can learn Roy G. Biv, you can learn the Pantone colors. But if you start painting minis, you've got to learn a whole other vocabulary. Because these things are their own awesome, nerdy color names. Yeah, wait till we get to the blue. If I remember correctly, the blue has a pretty awesome, hilarious name. Yeah, I'm just kind of going for it. No plan here. I'm just getting stuck in. As much as I want these guys to look good, they're really just kind of practice. I'm just kind of practicing at this point, just to get a feel for the brushes and the whole process. Because I've got some really cool, expensive minis coming in the mail, and so those I want to make. I'll take a lot more time with. Whereas these guys, it's all right if they don't look super fresh. They're just a bit more utilitarian, I guess. And it is interesting how, there's the technical aspect of just getting a feel for the brushes and color choices and all that. But really, you're training your eye. That was something I didn't get the kind of last go around I had with painting minis. I feel like I never really trained my eye, but now I'm like learning to pick out details and all that stuff. Now this, I cannot get this in the eye sockets if I can help it. I should say, because that red is not going to look real good against this dark gray. We must be very careful. And let's see. So you see what I mean? This is kind of what I'm talking about. The under here, partly because my lighting isn't that great. It's hard to tell under here where the fluff, the mane ends, and where the fur begins. So I'm just kind of guessing at this point. And that's fine, because the colors are really what's going to bring it together. And also, I don't have a lot of opportunities to just admire this guy's tum-tum when I'm playing Journeys in Middle-earth. All right, how am I looking, old boy? You're looking pretty good. Looking pretty fresh. Missed a couple spots here. And that's pretty cool, actually, just the gray, the dark gray with the white underbelly. And see, this is another thing, too. These Journeys in Middle-earth minis are really cool and detailed, but then there's, like, all these random... They're kind of hard to read. So, like, what in the world is that? That little lump right there. Is that a scar? Is it his hip bone showing? Like, I don't know. One thing I can do, and you should all do as well, if you are painting anything really, but especially Journeys in Middle-earth, check out Sorastro? I don't know. I'll try to remember to link it in the doobly-doo. But he's a really, really good painter, and he has some very nicely done instructional videos about how to paint these people. I think that's bone. The Wargs, the diseased Wargs in LOTRO, has got the bone sticking out. Weird. Okay, let's see. I want to go ahead and hit this guy while I'm working with the gray. I'm going to go ahead and hit his buddy with the gray. And I'm going to try to avoid his haunches, his flanks. And then I'm going to do the blue mane on the pack leader. And then we're going to call it a day. It's always a tricky balance because if you use the finer tip of the brush with less ink loaded on, or less paint loaded on, you have more control, but it takes forever. Those big old whiskers, big old shabbers. I also seem to can't avoid batch painting. Like I had no intention of batching it with these guys, but it's just what it is. Starting to get impatient. That's the habit I got to break, because with the batch painting, I'm thinking, all right, I want to get this done so I can move on to the next. Which means I'm kind of fighting the impulse to rush, which means this dude is not going to look as good as he could. He's going to be the runt of the family. So I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, but I find I got to be very conscientious about things like that. Not just when painting wargs, but in many circumstances. Oops. Okay, let's see. That looks pretty good. He's probably going to need some touch-ups later, but that's all right. It's one area of the lore that I don't know how much Tolkien really went on for wargs. I think LOTRO's done a pretty good job of fleshing them out. Because you got your run-of-the-mill wargs who are just there, that are just cannon fodder. But then there's some little bit more background they can give them, such as the quest in the Vales of Anduin, where you I think you have to rescue an elf. I think it's the same like wargs. It's something to do with Celebrian, Elrond's wife. I think that was where she was captured or something. There's like a massive talking warg boss in there, and so it's an interesting way that they kind of flesh that out and try to connect the talking wargs of the Hobbit with the less talkative wargs of the Lord of the Rings. Okay, I'm actually pretty happy with this dude. And I really, really want to get to that blue. I'm looking forward to that. So let's do... I'm going to hit these guys. I'm going to hit their eyes real quick, and then we'll do the blue. And we'll call them a day. Because I got to go pick up my child. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to our friend here. Here we go. Lovely shot of my palm of my hand there. Here we go. Expertise. Coming at you. Perfect detail. There it is. That's actually pretty good. Might need another layer, but Placement is dead on. That's pretty cool. See if I give this guy a teeny bit more, not pushing my luck too much. I'm gonna hit his mouth as well. Just a little something. That's cool. That dude's looking mean. I'm into it. Let's get his bro. See this, I don't have a handle for this, which may prove fatal, but we shall see. Oh, we got it. That's looking pretty good. And the gray is picking up, it's creating just a little bit of gray I did on the snoot. It's giving it a little bit of texture, which I like. Cool. Very, very nice. Yeah, we got a little bit out of there, but that's all right. Oh, cool. That'll do. Yeah, boys are looking fierce. I like it. All right, so let's hit that brick blue, and we'll say goodbye. Maybe we'll do this again sometime. Okay, so this color is High Lord Blue. That's not as funny as I thought it was. I think I was thinking of the purple color, which is Hive Dweller Purple. That's not very funny either. Oh well. Here we go. So because we're just doing the main, I'm not going to put him back in the handle. I think we'll be okay. Let's see. So I think, okay, I'm just going to start with a stripe down the middle here. And then if it looks cool, we can do the rest. But this is what I'm talking about. Look at that. Those speed paints, man, it's already kind of contrasted and shaded. And I'll probably touch it up with some highlights and shade oil or shade wash, whatever you call it. But even just as it is, it looks cool. It looks real good. Okay, here comes the blue. And I'm just going to put a teeny bit on the brush first to see how it looks. Right, here we go. I think it's going to be good, but I don't know. Oop, it's going on bright. So maybe we'll just do a little bit. I don't know. I mentioned storytelling before. I don't know what this guy's story is. He has a blue back. Maybe he was just going through a rebellious phase and he dyed his fur blue. I was hoping it would look a bit more natural going over the brown, but we can't have it all, can we? Looks kind of cool. He's looking like a dinosaur over here. All right, let's see. My kids are gonna love it anyway. There we go. That's cool. That's cool. I'm actually pretty happy about this. I might go back over it with some brown to lighten it up. A gray maybe, make it look a bit more natural. That's like a stegosaurus, but we're gonna wait and see how it looks when it dries. I'm real happy with that first layer though. It looks so cool. That's pretty neat. All right, I'm actually, I don't know what you guys in chat think, but I think I'm gonna leave it just like this. I'm gonna hit it with a few other blue highlights like on these little haunches here. And then this armpit hair. No deodorant for this boy. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. We're gonna call that job done. Well, oops, a little bit on pause there. And then we'll call it a day. Just a touch. So you got the touch. You got the power. All right, I better stop singing before I drive away the rest of the viewership here. All right, so there you have it. Quick little fun speed paint for some Wargs. They look pretty good for a first coat. We got Arturo, we got Strider, and we got Zencro. I don't know. All right, something a little different. Hope you guys enjoyed. And make sure you tune in Tuesday. I'll be live on LOTRO's stream doing a Beneath Your Feet for the South Downs. It's going to be a great time. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see more of this in the comments. Otherwise, we'll see you next time when we go Beneath Your Feet.